This is something that hits a lot of people, especially in the boroughs I'm in right now, and that is this plan of the mayor to now increase the size of the ULEZ zone, and that's the ultra low emission zones. He's increased it now to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he's increased it by size, which now means it's a £12.50 daily charge for vehicles to go inside that zone. That means if you drive every day, you would need to pay £4,550 per year. That is a nightmare type of a cost. How can anyone afford to do that and run a business as well? And this ULEZ area is going to cover so many boroughs, including Camden, Islington, Haringey, Hackney, Wandsworth, Lambeth, Southwark, Lewisham, Greenwich, Redbridge, and Waltham Forest. Even Enfield, Newham will also be covered. This is going to hurt, and it hurts the lowest income families the worst. This kind of a fixed tax is the worst for low-income families, and it's the last thing we need when we're trying to get our economy kick-started. And that's why I propose a congestion charge and ULEZ charge holiday for 6 months so we can get business back. I also propose a business rates holiday for 6 months so we can get the economy kick-started again. But it wasn't just the ULEZ charges. The mayor has increased your congestion charge from £11.50 to £15 in the last 12 months. He's also changed it to where it's 24/7, weekends. Even at midnight, you pay this congestion charge. It's ridiculous, and it's hurting us all, and it's crushing our economy. But there was big news last week, and I was speaking to Paul last night, one of my taxi drivers, and I speak to taxi drivers every night. I take the tube every morning. I take a taxi home every night. I like to support and also check out these networks and see how they're running. But there was a big ruling by the High Court this week by Justice Lang, who ruled that this flagship street space scheme by the governor was rushed through without proper consultation, quote, taking advantage of the pandemic to close off roads to general traffic. And that was a real problem. And the judge concluded that the mayor had, quote, far exceeded what was reasonably required to meet the temporary challenges created by the pandemic. The cab industry and many people in the neighborhood said your streetscape scheme was created in an ivory tower or maybe in the top floor of a glass building. It was never thought about how it would affect the entrepreneurs on the ground, the taxi drivers that pick up disabled people in this city. It never asked them, and it prohibited them from driving on streets. It also prohibited neighborhoods from having a free flow of traffic. And I had Steve McNamara on my show, the chairman of the LTDA, one of the largest taxi driver unions here in London. And he complained about these things. He said, Brian, we can't travel where we need to. We can't pick up handicapped workers. Some of these bike lanes are prohibitive, but the mayor does these things when no one's watching, when we're all on lockdown. It's a travesty. And I aired his ideas and we put them out there through all my channels, and a lot of people were talking about it, and I was so happy to see that they got a favorable court ruling, and the High Court saw what the mayor was trying to do. He said it's illegal, it's not acceptable, and it's going to hurt our businesses, and it's going to hurt our communities. So I just want to say, I'm really happy for the taxi drivers. They got that ruling, and I want to say that these top-down politics don't work. We cannot have leaders that are not on the ground, that aren't listening to the people in the communities. They make these policies, they put out a press release, they tick off their box for looking green that day, and then they don't realize that it costs jobs, it costs our economy, and sometimes it costs lives. And I have an entire Green First initiative. I am a big fan of promoting the environment, but I want to do it in a sensible way that doesn't crush our economy. And if you want to know more about my Green First initiatives, go to brianformayor.london. You can see my website and you can see what we have planned, but let's do it in an intelligent way. Let's not do it from the top of some glass office tower without even thinking about the ramifications. Let's do it by the data and by the numbers, and that's what is the best thing to move forward.